Fires in Siberia, floods in Belgium, a huge hole in Mexico, a volcano that does damage just by rumbling, or a fire tornado in Canada. The Earth is definitely not at its best. Put on your overalls and your helmets. Today, we take you to see with your own eyes these weird things that are happening in the world right now. You're sitting in front of your computer and you're about to buy a plane ticket to Brussels, Belgium to attend a very important seminar. But as soon as you type Belgium on your search bar, dozens of press articles come up. You learn that in Dinant, in the Walloon region of Belgium, heavy rains fell in the country at the beginning of July 2021 and refracted the region for a second time in less than 10 days, creating severe flooding. Buildings destroyed, houses drowned, others collapsed, cars scattered here and there, blocked alleys, impassable roads, damaged bridges, several victims injured and others dead, etc. A country devastated by torrential rains which, according to scientists, are the direct consequence of climate change caused by man. The experts also stated that from now on, it will be very frequent to attend these catastrophic episodes, which will intensify with time. The sight of such images is giving you a chill, so much that you cancel your trip. You're no longer motivated to go anyway. You are a great fan of Hitchcock's films, and you have watched his entire filmography over and over again. Films that you rewatch with great enthusiasm. I'm sure you secretly dream of experiencing one of these scenes from The Birds, don't you? Well, today we make your dreams come true. For this, we leave for Australia in the suburb of Nowra in New South Wales. In April 2021, when the morning was coming and everyone in the suburb was sleeping, thousands of white cocoa beetles ravaged the alleys, lining the roads and the roofs. They were obviously all rabid. The birds made a big invasion and started destroying storefronts, dirtying roads with their droppings, and making an unbearable noise. For parrots, this is rather strange. We'll never know where they came from or why they decided to invade the Australian suburb. This little scene gave you a big scare? After all, that's what you like about Hitchcock movies, isn't it? Well, you just witnessed a real scene from the movie The Birds. You know Mexico very well. Hot weather, beautiful beaches, sunshine year-round vacations. But I'm sure you've never seen Mexico under the snow. No, I swear, it's not a joke. Would you like to have a little glimpse of what Mexico looks like under the snow? Perfect. Let's fly to the land of tortillas. Some regions in the north of the country experience very cold spells, but without winter storms, even less in July. In these pictures, a region of Mexico was hit by hail. The roads were covered by at least 20 centimeters of snow, preventing vehicles to drive properly and safely. Residents were shocked to see a snowstorm in the middle of summer. A chilling scene that you could never imagine, not even in a nightmare. It saddens you to see how climate change is turning the whole weather system upside down. It's a shame, I admit. Now, even if it snows in the Sahara, you wouldn't be surprised. When you think of Siberia, you think of snow, cold, beautiful snowy landscapes. It would not occur to you that there may be catastrophic fires caused by rising temperatures. You want to see what it looks like? Then we fly to Siberia. But this time, you don't need to bring your coat. In August 2021, big fires broke out in several forests of Siberia, fires of such magnitude that the smoke even reached the North Pole, a first in history. One of the most affected regions of the country is Yakutia, a huge territory, fortunately not very inhabited, where the situation is worsening day by day and where the fire ravages and eats away at the forest at a great speed. Today the situation is alarming. More than 3.4 million hectares of forest in Siberia are on fire, generating thick smoke that spreads over vast areas affecting much of Russia. Scientists point the finger once again, climate change that only aggravates the situation and promote the development of fires. According to them, the latter makes the disasters more intense and more virulent. According to environmental experts, fires are one of the consequences of the global rise in temperature. A little hot? Let's go back home. These images sadden you, and it is quite normal. You are not the only one that it affects, but let's give you food for thought and encourage you to make more efforts to protect the environment. You have already heard about erupting volcanoes, awakening volcanoes, sleeping volcanoes, but you've never heard of volcanoes that rumble and create great damage. Follow us. We take you today to Congo to see, from afar, the Nyiragongo volcano. The Nyiragongo volcano, a stratovolcano located about 20 kilometers north of the city of Goma in eastern Congo, has entered a new eruptive phase in 2021. I said new because this volcano has been erupting relatively frequently compared to other volcanoes, the last one being in May 2002. This volcano is dangerous because it is located a little too close to inhabited and densely populated areas. Also, it has a permanent lava lake, a very rare phenomenon in the world, which can spill over its steep slopes. But this is not the worst, because in May 2021, the city of Goma experienced a rather strange phenomenon. The volcano, in a new eruptive phase, began to rumble, causing large cracks in the roads and fractures in the soil. The lava flows engulfed a large number of homes, which were deserted by their residents a few days before that, and killed a total of 32 people. 10 days after the eruption, life returned to normal, but the people of Goma remain anxious as they return to their homes. A difficult return because everywhere they go, they see the damage of the lava. The lava has damaged the water and electricity distribution networks, not to mention the cracks that the volcano's rumblings have created, which have made the roads extremely dangerous. You're terrified just to think about living in a country like this, and that's where you consider yourself lucky to live in a quiet French village without any problems. Holes in the ground, craters left by meteorites, dried up lakes that give way to huge holes. You find it normal as long as there are plausible explanations for each of these phenomena. But if you are told, appearance of a huge hole of more than 100-meter diameter in a field without any explanation, you are surprised, aren't you? You would certainly like to see what it looks like and especially to know a little more about it. So we go back to Mexico, this time in Santa Maria Zacatepec, located in the state of Puebla. Saturday, May 29, 2021, some Mexican farmers woke up with an incredible sight in front of their nose. A huge sinkhole full of water was created on their field during the night. They claimed that the same night they heard a thunderous sound. It started out 5 meters in diameter, is now 100 meters in diameter, and continues to grow as time goes by. The chasm is nearly 18 meters deep, a staggering phenomenon. The scientists who carried out their investigation on this strange hole managed to know, according to the declarations of certain local inhabitants, that this farm was installed on a hagaway, a large pond which was filled. This pond would be, according to them, responsible for this phenomenon. The experts also explained that there is what is called a softening of the agricultural land related to the extraction of aquifer. The latter is a type of permeable and porous soil that allows vertical flows. The Mexican authorities are worried that this impressive hole could get even bigger since the land is in direct contact with the water. This last one makes it lose its resistance and thus makes it easily erodible. Are you shocked at the sight of such a large chasm? Now you know at least one place where you won't go on vacation. You are used to hearing about catastrophic events in Canada, snowstorms, earthquakes, hurricanes, etc. But did you know that recently, British Columbia experienced a major natural disaster of a completely different kind? We take you to what happened. In June 2021, a huge forest fire broke out near Lake McKinley in British Columbia, Canada. The cause? An extreme heat wave that hit the area. The fire not only caused significant damage, but also created fire-spitting clouds, commonly referred to as pyrocumulonimbus. These are created by smoke rising into the sky and interacting with the moisture in the air. These fire-breathing clouds, as their name suggests, do not make rainfall all the time, but rather generate firestorms and release very powerful blasts of dry air towards the ground, which only further fuels the flames and scatters the embers, contributing to the widening of the lands consumed by the fire. What's worse, these pyrocumulonimbus can also generate lightning that, when it strikes the ground, can cause new fires, a never-ending vicious cycle. Needless to say, this is again the fault of man and the climate change he is responsible for. These fire-breathing clouds are currently flying over Western Canada and are responsible for the incredible rise in temperature, particularly in the village of Lytton, a few kilometers from Vancouver. The latter has recorded a record temperature approaching 50 degrees. Firestorms, fire-breathing clouds, all this reminds you of scenes from an apocalyptic movie. Unfortunately, it's a harsh reality. So, you will never stop learning about the consequences of climate change. You are in China, in Henan, and you intend to spend a few days of vacation resting and sightseeing. Except that this morning, when you wake up, just as you are about to go for a stroll in the streets of the city, you open the window of your room, and there it is, the horror. A real spectacle worthy of an apocalyptic scene takes shape before your eyes. The city of Zhongzhou, capital of Henan, located 700 kilometers south of Beijing, is underwater. Heavy rains had fallen during the whole night, strange for a mid-July, and to think that you didn't notice anything last night. Your vervain tea had an effect on your sleep. You turn on the television and they don't announce anything good. They say that these rains will continue for at least 3 days and that it could fall the equivalent of almost a year's worth of precipitation never seen before. 100 deaths have already been announced and several people are missing. The rainfall surprised the 10 million inhabitants of the city of Zhengzhou. The water flooded the streets, engulfing everything in its path, destroying buildings, cutting roads, ravaging the countryside, drowning and washing away vehicles, and causing damage mounting to nearly 7 billion euros. This is one of the worst floods China has seen in 6 decades. Terrifying news that leaves you shocked. You don't know what to do. You only want to take the first plane back home, but unfortunately, access to the airport is suspended. You just have to wait in your hotel room until the flooding is over. praying that your hotel is not among the buildings affected by the floods. One thing is for sure, you will never set foot in Henan again. So what do you think about these weird things that devastate the Earth? Do you think these phenomena will disappear in the future, or will they get worse? Leave us your opinion in the comments. We would love to know what you think about this topic. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell icon to receive all the notifications and not miss anything of our next contents.